What's up, everybody? My name is Tyler, and today I will be walking you guys through the system that NCAA currently has in place on the student athletes that are going through the college process, that are full time students, while at the same time being full time athletes. It's almost like working two jobs, and it is a very underspoken topic that athletes, yes, they get glory, and yes, they enjoy rewards that are different from just students would. However, there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of anxiety that goes into the demand and the expectations that student athletes have to put up with. And my personal experience is unique. It's special. As I was a Division 1 athlete, I was playing soccer at a university my first semester in college, and I ended up transferring out because the system was not what I expected. And that is a personal experience of mine. And I still am a college athlete. I still am a student athlete at the Division 2 level. However, I'm very happy I got out of the Division 1 level because I realized that my life would be centered on one thing and one thing only, and that was soccer. And to me, that is not a healthy lifestyle to live. So, NCAA, the system that they have in place, creates a high demand schedule, high expectations that are unrealistic to meet, and join that high demand and join the high expectations together, that results in stress. That results in the student athletes being overwhelmed, and that results in mental health issues that go unaddressed. So the high demand, what do I mean by that? Well, NCAA enforces a rule where the student athlete can only practice 20 hours a week. However, NCAA does not necessarily enforce this by any means. In fact, most student athletes who take a survey have said that they will be training for 30 to 40 hours a week. That's a full-time job, and that's a lot of stress to put on to also a full-time student. You have to also take into consideration the travel that goes into these student athletes. They sometimes will take off weeks out of their semester to be traveling and playing away games, and that adds a lot of stress, and that's a high demand thing as well. Not to mention the lack of sleep that results from this high demand, and the tutoring sessions, the study halls, where most programs demand student athletes be in study hall 8 to 10 hours each week. So these hours rack up, and these student athletes get overwhelmed. Now I'd like to move to the high expectations. With 2% of graduating athletes from high school receiving scholarship money athletically, that's a slim margin. And so when an athlete does get athletic scholarship, they get granted athletic scholarship money. That is an honor, but it also comes with stress. It also comes with expectations. And for those who would desire an even higher athletic scholarship, they know that they need to perform strong in the season so that the coaches will grant them their wish of a higher scholarship in the following season. Some people even fear losing their athletic scholarship if they don't perform well or if an injury comes. And this is high expectations. Another high expectation is that student athletes must meet a 2.3 GPA. But sometimes that is hard to fully develop and fully prepare yourself in the classroom while you're also being asked to fully develop and prepare yourself on the field, in the swimming pool, on the track, or on the court. So high expectations can result in deep levels of stress, anxiety, and sometimes desperation. Desperation to the point where University of North Carolina was caught with a scandal back in 2017. And in this scandal, it was uncovered that UNC, the university itself, had set up a program to help the student athletes who were struggling academically get by in their classes. In this program, student athletes would join a class that they needed to pass. And in this class, there would be a professor behind the scenes passing every single assignment that they had turned in. And thankfully, this was brought up to the surface, and it was uncovered, and it was stopped. But this goes around the country. And student athletes are desperate sometimes, and they have to do desperate things that they not necessarily would want to do. So ultimately, um, high expectations and a high demand is what student athletes have to put up with. Some can handle the stress, but others can't. And more specifically, most people can't handle the stress, and they handle it in negative ways. Their lives become based on the sport, and their identity is found in the sport. Their identity is found in pleasing people and making people happy, but that is not a healthy lifestyle. And ultimately, that is draining. And studies have shown that student athletes struggle more severely with anxiety and stress more than students would. And with the rise in mental health issues recently in these past recent years, NCAA is looking for ways to adjust their system to refine it. However, the real question is, will they do that? And how soon will they do it? There are still some programs in this country who do not have well-educated psychological officials in place to help these student athletes. And this needs to become a priority. Student athletes need to have people to go to so that they can talk and they can share where they are at mentally so that they can get the help that they need. Thank you, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen.